Is this guy supposed to be the ultimate badass?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's show, the Frisco Report. We're back at it, back in effect, full effect, Mike. We're rounding out the second week of the bye week here, so, they're pretty much getting in preparation for the 49ers game. But we got a couple things we got to talk about here as far as the team goes. Draft needs. We're going to take an early look at draft needs, and then we'll talk about the 49ers game, and we'll talk about some other rumors and things that are floating the Cowboys rumor mill. All right. So, Mike, first of all, how are you doing, bro?
The Frisco Report in full effect, Joe. We're doing great over here. Hope you're doing well over there. It's time to talk about these Cowboys. And, yeah, man, it's good to be here. Ready to do this.
It's Cowboys 365 days out of the week. All right. And bye weeks included, bro. Bye weeks included. So the big highlights coming out of the bye week, Mike. Jerry Jones having his tit for tat with 105.3 fan. We don't have to beat that with a dead horse, but was it planned? Did he want to do that to distract the conversation from the team? Did Jerry kind of just set himself up, or is this just one of his stunts? What's your take on Jerry right now, this bye week?
It very well could be a stunt because, he just went on 105.3 The Fan yesterday and said he was surprised of how much media attention and how much attention that got. Jerry, how are you surprised, right? These teams made all these trade moves and stuff, and Cowboys sat on their hands once again. They didn't make a coaching change. They didn't make a significant player change. And, Jerry's betting on these players getting healthy. And I know we'll touch base on that later, but, I don't know if it was planned. I think Jerry's mad because maybe Jerry wants to do something, but Steven, Will, these guys are telling him no. That could also be happening too, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who knows, man? But it does seem like it's a circus here. It seems like it's a zoo. Latest thing that came out here that I actually saw here recently on Twitter was some of these former Cowboys coming out, talking about how the tours there at the Frisco Star are a distraction. It makes them feel like they're animals at a zoo. People knocking on the windows while they're working out and shit like that. So pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Can I touch base on that, Joe?
I think it's I think there could be something to that. You know what I mean? So
I toured the Star. All right, I toured the Star the year I met you, Joe. The same day actually I met you. The rules are strict. You can't talk to players. You can't talk to coaches. You'll see the players. You'll see the coach. If you tap on glass and that tour guide sees that, you're getting kicked out. I remember Jason Garrett was standing there looking over the practice field there, and we came up the stairs where the meeting rooms are, and I said it was over there by the Jason Witten portrait that they got above there, and I looked at Jason Garrett and said, "How we doing, guys?" And the tour guide ripped my ass for that. Little old 5'2" nothing lady. She was like, "You can't do that. Don't ever do that again. You'll be barred from the star." They're super strict, Joe. Super strict. Tapping on glass, I really don't believe that. Getting in players' ways, in the way of players, I really don't believe that. They are super, super strict. Now, they're in there working out. There's glass. What Dalton Schultz said is more accurate, right? It's almost like you're a zoo because you just got people looking at you, right? What Dalton Schultz said is more accurate than what Ben DiNucci said, than what Armstrong said. They're kind of over exaggerating. Now, what Kelvin Joseph said and what Cheeto Beeluzio said, that's pretty accurate. But saying that you can do whatever you want on a tour is just that's nonsense.
All this stuff makes my balls itch, bro. Man, so I really don't care about the excuses, bro. It's just another thing for excuses around here. You know what I mean? But I do think that it is part of the culture that is here with the Cowboys. So it is what it is, man. So let's talk about the draft. All right, early peak, Mike. You know, if the season ended today, we're drafting. I think the last I looked, 15 overall. All right, so that being said, Mike, in your opinion, what is your number one and number two top needs for this football roster?
Right now, Joe, I'm going running back and defensive tackle. You know, we could throw O-line in there too, but we need a running back desperately. We need a run stopper desperately. Those would be my two positions right now.
Yeah, no, it's hard to argue against that. You know, I'm going to say lineman, and give me anything on either side. An old lineman. I think next year we're going to be in trouble. I think maybe Zach Martin might even retire. Did he already hit that fall off out of nowhere? Right, he's been like an All Pro consecutively. Is this the year where it's over, bro? Like, or is it the coaching? Does he retire? So that could be a hole that could come out of nowhere. Steele, I think you June 1 cut this guy, move Guyton to right tackle, hopefully, and then you got to need there at left tackle. So I think that give me O lineman, or you could go D lineman, like you said, Mike. You could go defensive tackle. And depending if we're high enough, I would even look at it an edge rusher. You know what I mean? I think we're too long in the tooth. We have no weaponry. We have no heavy hitters, artillery getting in there on the field of war. We've got Michael Parsons, and we've got some cannons from the 1700s. You know what I mean? We need to get some up-to-date modern warfare type of weaponry at the edge position. All right, so O-line, D-line, and then I'm looking at running back as well, Mike. But I think running back, I think people are going to be very pleased where they can capture one of these guys, Mike. But yeah, running back, obviously, bro. It's not Rico Dowdle.
Danny Savage in the chat. Big shout out to Danny Savage, the draft guru. I really feel like running back is very deep. I agree with Savage on that point. There's some this early in the stage, y'all like to look at sleeper picks. All right, I'm looking at the Utah transfer into Arkansas, Jaquindon Jackson, running back, 6'2", big boy. All right. Jerry Jones might draft him a Razorback, in Jaquindon. That's a 4th round talent. It's so deep. I'm looking at the 3rd, the 4th round pick running backs. I think that's where the Cowboys are going to get those guys. Don't be surprised if Jackson from Arkansas's running back stock goes up.
Yeah. Obviously, right now, anybody that's looking at mock drafts right now, they're seeing the Boise kid there at running back, And you know how it is. The guys that you see at the beginning of the season rarely ever get picked. So that's the hot name right now. Obviously, running back is total garbage here right now. It's going to have to be completely revamped. Whatever coach comes in here, they got to get their guys But man, we missed out. We missed out so bad on getting us a running back this last draft. I mean, it was pretty loaded draft class as well, man. I mean, we saw Braylon Allen, last
Wisconsin running back.
all the way into these mid rounds, bro.
Pet cat of mine.
Yeah, the USC kid, he was still dangling out there, and man, and they're just trying to get through it through patchwork. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a long season. A running back, and we called it, Mike. We knew that this was running back, the same as the wide receiver by committee. I mean, they gotta. I mean, outside of CD Lamb, bro. I mean, they did spend one on Tolbert, man. He took forever to develop, bro. Was he overdrafted in your opinion? Knowing what you know right now, was he
absolutely.
overdrafted? Where should he have gone?
He should have been a 6th rounder.
Yeah.
He should, because it's hard to compare, but Michael Gallup went to a small school there, Colorado State. Then you had, him coming out of the Alabama small school. Like Michael Gallup's rookie year, 500 yards. His rookie year had like 50 yards. Like they just, you can't compete where you don't compare. And what versus Michael Gallup was able to do, it's night and day different. And Tolbert's still not consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's still developing. That's the crazy crap about it. I agree with you, man. I think from where we drafted him, if you did a redraft of that class, he goes in a later round. You know what I mean? Because he just required so much attention, so much hand holding, and so we're still not 100% sure, bro. Right? I mean, he could go back to his no show ways real quick. So we'll see how he looks by the end of the year, but. Wide receiver, man, they got to get one somehow, some way in here is a need. Defensive tackle is going to be a philosophical type of issue, bro, because it's like, this team is very shy, or they're just not big on doing it, right?
Right.
On using high picks on defensive tackles. That's why I say, Mike, that and I'm pounding the table on this shit, bro. McClay has gotten a little bit too complacent here. I think the scouts, McClay, these guys, I think it's time for a change, because we all want Jerry the hell out of here. We want somebody else in charge, but he is not going anywhere as much as we want. But I think if you need to refresh something else in that department, it's going to be McClay, Mike.
You definitely need a new voice in that scouting department. You need a new voice in that evaluation of talent when it comes to free agents, Joe. I mean, you look at, somebody should have been slapped in the face when you brought in guys like Nolan Carroll and Dontari and Poe. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were big free. I mean, they got cut in the middle of the season. Then you look at these free agents here. We signed a running back, and Ryan Knoll didn't even make the team. That was a free agent outside signing. You look at a lot of these other pieces where they didn't even. I mean, Chuma Edoga was a hit and miss. I mean, you can give him a little credit on the Chuma Edoga thing at the left tackle spot, but other than that, they really haven't signed anybody good. Malik Hooker wasn't Malik Hooker, Jaron Kearse, those safeties that we thought they fixed, they kind of fell off now. You know what I mean? After they got their deals. So, I just think I just think they need to look at that.
They got to make a change, man, because it's always, let's try to get this former bust and try to do something with him, and it rarely has worked. There's a lot of things they gotta get away from. The bargain bins, player acquisition, free agents that have been sucky, and that's kind of his wheelhouse as well. So he was in charge of that. He was in charge of buttoning up the draft, and it wasn't buttoned up. It was wide open, 1970s style. All the button down here, hairs and shit popped out. So it wasn't buttoned up, bro. Not at all, man. So I don't want to hear that anymore, man.
Well, you know what I don't want to hear either, Joe? And we say this more times than none when it comes to March football. It was, oh, that's a practice squad guy. Oh, that's a camp body.
Yeah.
Give me. Oh, that's competition.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that competition. When we gonna start seeing that, Joe? That's what
exactly.
this team's lacking.
It is, and then that's McClay and these guys, man. So it's like, give me a name, somebody that has actually produced. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's they have just put themselves in a bad position right now because now it's like, what do you do for the next coach that's going to come in here? Because we all know it's not going to be McCarthy, bro. He's a dead man walking.
He
So
is.
how do you improve this for the next coach? And who would want to come here with this kind of mess? I mean, Parcells says it's Broadway, right? Like it'll attract everybody, but what will the success be like? You know what I mean?
Oh no, it'd be bad if Bill Belichick couldn't manage the football team with Mac Jones, and because Mac Jones wasn't a terrible quarterback, it just went downhill because Bill Belichick had a certain way of running an organization, and he went outside the organization to get help because this offense was just crap, right? So they put him on the back burner because he was doing the unsung stuff. You're going outside the organization to ask for help, Mac Jones. So Bill Belichick couldn't even manage that. If you can't manage one quarterback, how the hell you think you're going to manage the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah,
Bill
man.
Belichick would be a disaster hire, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he had Brady, bro. I mean, that helped. You could have had some other. You could have had some other washed up guy. You could have had Marvin Lewis there, bro. Marvin Lewis could have had 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady. You know what I mean? You could have put Dave Campo in there with Tom Brady. It would have been Super Bowl.
Tom Bowles has a Super Bowl ring
Yeah.
because of Tom Brady.
Yeah. Todd Bowles, man, great defensive guy, right? But not really known for his offense. But it's it's gonna be wild, bro, to see what they do here because we all want the young guy. We want somebody from the Shanahan tree or the McVay tree. One of these guys is innovative, fresh mind, integrates plays from college. We were running like the '90s offense for a while. Garrett kept that going. Then we brought in McCarthy's West Coast style, right? So
You look at Bill Belichick's track record, Joe. You want Bill O'Brien in here being Dak Prescott's offensive coordinator?
no
You want Matt
way,
Patricia
bro.
calling the defensive plays?
No, yeah, Bill O'Brien would be a disaster.
Like this is like you look at Bill Belichick's coaching tree, bro. There's not a lot of good branches.
No, there's not. There really isn't, dude. It's just him, and that's it. Everybody else has been a complete utter disaster.
And history has shown that it wasn't even him; it was Brady.
Yeah, but he goes with what he's comfortable with, right? So he's kind of comfortable with a Parcells type of guy. Yeah, man, it's just who's gonna coach Prescott in his last contract? Here last 4 years, right? Who's that gonna be? Gonna be somebody. This is what drives me crazy. We're gonna keep the same verbiage, bro. Trash this shit, bro. And if Dak can't pick up a new offense, then you screwed up extending this dude. You know what I mean?
They doubled down. They doubled up this offense so much. Like, where else can you go with it? Like I remember when T.Y. Hilton came in. Go watch his interview when he first came in. He goes, "Oh, this offense is easy." He goes, "Well, how's the verbiage?" "Oh, it's cowboy verbiage." "Oh, it's easy." What? You mean you could just learn our offense like that? How generic is that?
Yeah,
this is the National Football League.
They're gonna try to sell us on some bullshit, bro. I just know they are, dude.
you need a Sean McVay type coach in here. I mean, look at these young coaches. These fresh coaches that came in here. Kyle Shanahan been to a Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni with the Eagles came in, went to a Super Bowl. Campbell with the Lions went to an NFC championship game. You look at these younger coaches, bro, they're getting there because they know what they're doing. They're building this franchise up. The Lions, you could say, well, they drafted all their talent because they've been in the top 10 for many years. That's fine, but guess what? Give props to their general manager for that because the Cowboys haven't been that damn good. Where the hell's our best draft class at?
And you hit it on the head, Mike. Fans have been giving McClay a pass because they're living off of, we didn't get Manziel. We got, Zach Martin, dude. We're talking 10 years ago now. And if you really take a look at these draft classes, Mike, and you and I have sat down and looked at this, some of them you got one guy out of there when they should have had guys that are still here or got a second contract. There's not really a lot of guys that are getting second contracts, bro. Like some of these draft classes are terrible.
No, they are.
In McClay, we trust my little twat and shit. It's time to wake up, bro. It is. It really is, dude.
I just think, when it boils down to it, Joe, I mean, you answered the question best. With the question, you said, who the hell wants to come in here? Because who wants to? You hear these former players saying this. You hear Jerry Jones throwing his head coach under the bus today, talking about the offense really ain't about shit. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said.
Yeah, he sure did, man.
Who wants so Jerry's going to have your back until he don't. We've seen it with Dez. We've seen it with T.O.
Yep.
We've seen it with a lot of names. We've seen it with Jason Garrett. He's going to have your back until he doesn't. And now Mike McCarthy, and Jerry knows he should have fired McCarthy. Jerry knows we should have a brand new coach in here right now. When Dan Quinn left, Mike McCarthy should have followed out that door.
They should have. They really should have, bro. Because now it's like you are basically redshirting this year. You know what I mean?
You are.
Which is okay for a couple of your young guys, but these your veteran guys that are chasing the ring, gosh, bro, I feel terrible for them, bro. Like Zach Martin, he's looking like he's gonna retire, man. Like, and that is terrible, bro.
Jerry does everything wrong, and Mike McCarthy probably had a say in this too. Dan Quinn left, right? Then they brought in Mike Zimmer, where their schemes are just a little different, right? But Dan Quinn's scheme worked up until the point where you couldn't stop the run. Mike Zimmer's scheme has shown the same thing. You still won't be able to stop the run, right? Why not hire the Dan Quinn guy like an Al Harris to be your defensive coordinator to keep those common systems in place that actually work for this franchise? Because you know what, we're 3-3. You know what this team is missing the most? And me and Fifth Quarter Cowboys were talking about this on the phone the other day. We're missing those turnovers. We're missing those special teams play. Was this offense that bad that this defense really carried the whole entire team? Right? Because now you don't have those turnovers like you used to have under Dan Quinn. Now the offense actually has to go score points. And Joe, do you know who has the most points on this football team? It's Brandon Aubrey at 51. Your quarterback is right behind him with 50.
I know. That's just unbelievable. But now, I mean, here in Dallas, it is believable. But your kicker, bro, like that crap is just unacceptable, man. You're not going to win anything like that, bro. Like, I mean, who are we kidding, right? Like, we want success. But this season, I mean, you're lame duck. You've got two recent draft classes that you're struggling, bro. You're struggling to get quality snaps from these guys, man.
Yeah, you're putting too much on your young guys. I mean, you are.
Yeah.
And when you draft a guy like Deuce Vaughn and now he's deactivated because you realize he's not an NFL back, that hurts you. When you draft a guy like Mozzie Smith and he ain't panning out, it hurts you. Right? Schoonmaker, it hurts you. because these are fresh talents, or you could either win a different position and it might have helped you a lot better than what it's helping you now. Letting Jonathan Hankins go, yeah, he wasn't the best run stopper. He didn't fix the stuff in Dallas. But to say you're going to bet on a guy who got limited snaps last year and say that's going to be your guy to plug the middle, you went about it wrong.
Yeah, it's gotta be, and it, man, it's just you got the Jones family in charge, right? So it's like, how what's the ceiling? Is the ceiling the divisional round? You know what I mean? Like
It's the ceiling's the wild card.
the ceiling's a wild card, and then it's like these guys always say one and done. No, it's done because we've seen these guys get their bye week and they're done. They didn't even get the one and done. They're just done. Like they can't even show up, bro. Like we've had so much heartbreak here in the playoffs. It's ridiculous, bro.
No, it's cut. Why would we cut our young guy, Justin Rogers from Auburn? I mean, he played lights out in the preseason. You fumbled that. They just did everything backwards. Cutting Quentin Bohanna, I didn't get. I thought Oso Digizua played better next to Quentin Bohanna than he did any other player.
It's going to be a big revamping. Like somebody said in the chat room, what about the three? We might go to the 3-4 because if you don't have any defensive tackles here, and you get a coach in here who prefers a 3-4, they might pull the trigger on that and go 3-4, and they might get a free agent big nose tackle, nose guard, and then draft another big guy as well. Because we're not going to have any 4-3 defensive tackles. Osa's going to leave,
right?
You know what I mean? I don't even know if I'd keep him. So he's out the door. So it's like, what do you have left, bro? You literally have no defensive tackles to run anything right now.
Right. And we got a couple of super chats coming in for you, Joe. This is A. Lavelle, big supporter of the channel. I appreciate you, A. Lavelle. He said, "What's up, Joe and Mike? Hope you and your family is doing well. Thank you both for being real and not drinking the Jerry Jones BS. He turned the team into a brand, and that's all he cares about, not Super Bowls." And then Phil came in. We're going to touch on that, A. Lavelle. Appreciate that. And then Phil came in and said, "Jerry, 30-year fan card express expired. You can't fool us anymore."
There we go.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, A. Lavelle, man. Appreciate that super chat, bro. Man, yeah, man. It's a lot of fans are finally coming around to it. It's taken a long time, right? So, but what can be done about it, bro? And then if you get Jerry out of here through retirement, old age, whatever you got the next guy in the queue. Mr. Cheapo, I mean,
we like our guys.
Team, bro.
All the pie.
I'm using these binoculars. I'm looking for the Saudis. All right, Elon Musk. Somebody buy this team, bro. Somebody. Right?
He said, "I'm looking for the Saudis." Elon Musk. So that's funny. Hey, A. Lavelle, thank you so much for that super chat, brother. Yeah, but you're definitely right. But me and Joe, we're gonna keep it funky with you. We're gonna keep it 100%. Same thing with you, Phil. The fan card express expired. He can't fool us anymore. That card for Joe and I expired probably since we started the Frisco report.
Yeah. I'm full on, like, I'm done with them, dude. Like, I really am, dude. I am pro sell the team. Oh, he's never there. Never. I know it will never happen. But I'm still going to put it out there because that's what it's going to take, man. You know what I mean? It's like any of these clubs. I mean, even right? They sold the team. The new owner came in here, hired Belichick. They got all these Super Bowl. Cowboys, they need to do that because this is sucky shit, bro. It's terrible around here right now, man.
It's definitely, and there's a good chance that we could beat the 49ers. There's a damn good chance we can beat this team because they're injuries, right? And there's going to be fans that says, "Oh, the bye week, we're back." They're going to watch this show back and say, "Oh, this didn't age well." Bro, it's the beat up 49ers. Like, give me full strength Cowboys, give me full strength Niners, and let's see what we're about.
This is what I'm scared about, Mike. The Cowboys historically are really bad about this, where the other team is missing players. Oh, we're gonna expose these guys missing players, and then they come out, they play to the level, right? But they don't have Ayuk, they don't have Debo, and then they will come out here and barely win the game, or maybe we even get our ass whipped again. I mean, you really don't know what you're going to get with these guys. It's like 1980 says, like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right?
Right. And, Dak Prescott made a comment when we got our faces smashed in against the Ravens. He goes, "Jump up if you want to."
Yeah.
Dak, we can't even win at home.
Yeah.
Dak, we can't even win at home. We got another super chat here. Super chats are flying tonight, Joe. This is from Mike. Oh, you put it up there. I'm sorry. This is from Mike. It said, "The fact that the Cowboys do tours every single day shows you the current culture of this team. What other team does that? Even former players were talking about it, how it's like a zoo, and it's and sadly, it's correct." 100%, Mike. 100%.
It is a zoo. Yeah.
Yeah, it is like a zoo. Like I was telling Joe earlier, we talked about this earlier in the show. Like I toured the Star once, and they're very strict on what they could say and stuff. But like you are watching players work out through glass. I mean, the Star in Frisco is nothing but glass. So when you go watch them on the practice squad, are on the practice field. They're watching you. You're watching them. When they're in the weight room, when they're in the meeting rooms, when they're in the they're doing all in the hallways. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an attraction, and I'm guilty of it. And I would tour the Star again just because of the history that they have all around that place.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm a sucker for the history, Joe.
It's a wild thing, Mike. Yeah, it is that, and through the last couple of seasons, we Mike and I have jokingly said that people need to go out here and protest, start picketing, but I really think that does need to start really happening, bro. Like, start booing this team, dude. Like, just because this is like terrible, man.
Right. It is, Joe. We've been talking about it for years. There's a guy that started the fire the Jerry GM movement, and he was the first guy to go up there and do it. I just I don't have a time in the day, Jerry makes it so hard with those ticket prices. You want to go to the game, you got to work a little overtime.
You got to work a little overtime, and you really kind of got to be like, go and see a team that you're pretty much gonna get you a win. If you're gonna spend a lot of money, you better not do it against a playoff caliber team, because you're gonna get your heart broken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, we almost lost against them Lions back in, after Christmas, New Year's Eve.
And that, to me, pretender city, bro. That's a pretender type of team, bro. That's who we are, man. We're pretenders up the wazoo, bro.
Who do you see, Joe? Who do you see?
I'm looking for somebody that can turn this team around. It ain't gonna be Jerry. It ain't gonna be Steven. It ain't gonna be these guys. So, who could it be? Who could it be? Will it ever happen? I wonder.
I don't know. They got a lot to. They didn't make any moves, Joe. What did I say last Tuesday? I said if they don't do anything by Wednesday, they're not serious.
And they didn't, dude. And when we talked about it off air too, is these guys, they're not going to be players. They're not even going to be sellers, and they should. If you're not going to re-sign Osa, get a pick, right?
Right.
You could get a 4th or 5th or something for Osa at least. You know what I mean? I would think. But these guys, They can't even trade good, bro. They would probably get a 7th for this guy. I can't do when I hear the Cowboys are in the trade business, dude. I'm shivering in my pants, bro, because they're gonna get ripped off, bro. We used to rip people off. Now we get ripped off, dude. Like every trade we do, we get ripped off.
Yeah, Jerry tried to play off the Amari Cooper trade on 105.3 The Fan. He said, Jerry, what is it like, when you gave away a 5th round and then the Buffalo gets a 3rd round? They get a 3rd round for him. Buffalo gives a 3rd round. He goes, well, we traded him for the money. That was $20 million cap savings. We didn't care about the pick. We just wanted to get the money.
Terrible, bro.
Jerry, you didn't use the money for anything. You know damn well you didn't want to. Amari Cooper was calling your ass out he didn't want to get vaccinated, all that commotion. You got pissed off and you let him go, Jerry. Just say that.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it was. And that's why there was we'll bring him back. No, Jerry would never bring him back.
No, they had a lot of animosity towards the end. Jerry's not going to do that.
Yeah. No, there's no way.
Jerry's a lot like Vince McMahon in the WWE world, dude. He is.
That's a good point, man. That really is a good point, dude. It's like these guys didn't get where they're at for nothing, but man, it's like, man, to me the star is tarnished, bro. It's lost its luster. We're sitting at 5 Super Bowls. We're sitting there. We're stuck there. Is that as high as we're gonna get? I mean, yeah,
as long as Jerry's there. Mike said it's all about the brand and Dallas Cowboys world. It's like Disney World. While the other teams are doing stuff to get better, that we are doing nothing. And that's what, I said right here last Tuesday, I looked you guys in the eyes and I said, if they don't do anything Wednesday, they don't care about the Cowboys. They don't care about winning. They're going to bet on the guys coming back. And that's just what it is. And Joe, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And how much more of this can the fan base take? Will there ever be a time when people do stop going to the games? Everybody says, "Oh, hit him in the pockets." I don't know, man. That stadium is always full, man. I see it always full, man.
Let me take you down memory lane here, Joe. Week 1, 2014. The stage is set. Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers, ironically. How many Cowboy fans were in that stadium that day? There wasn't very many. There was not very many. I would say it was probably 40% Cowboy fans, 60%. Jerry Jones was freaking out. Jerry was freaking out that day. We gotta have a turnout like that. We can't win there anyway, so why even show up?
Yeah. No, that's not good.
I want me some glory hole.
It's not good, bro. It's not good. But let's transition here to the 49ers game, Mike. You kind of touched on it. Can they win this game? Or is it going to be this is their first road game that they're going to lose now? It's the current boogeyman of the Cowboys, right? It used to be Tampa. It used to be, I think it's going to be the Packers again, but it used to be the Packers. Then it's the 49ers and Bucks. So can they beat these depleted 49ers on the road, Mike?
Yes, they can. And, I talked about this on the Cowboy Up podcast. Shout out to those guys. I said it's going to be a field goal fest game. I really feel like that. The 49ers, they got Mike Jennings over there. Or not Mike Jennings. They got Jennings over there. He's coming along. They got a good running back. And I don't want Brock Purdy to turn into a Derek Carr type game. Like they had their Evan Kamara run all over us, made Derek Carr look like a beast, right? Mason could run all over this defense, and Brock Purdy could look like a beast. We got to hit him where it hurts. We got to sack him. We got to hit Purdy, but you got to stop that running game first. That defense has to. Now, they still got Fred Warner, Dak Prescott's kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
That could really, ruffle some feathers with that. All you have to do is panic Dak. And we've seen it time again. If you panic Dak against this 49er defense, we've seen Dak play against, he does not look good. I don't think Dak Prescott has scored 25 points on this new 49er defense.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it, right? These guys, and that's what separates and this term is thrown around too lightly, but you got elite up here. It's what separates elite from very good, right? So the very good, they can't get past memories. They hear footsteps. They can't shake that off. So they're like, oh man, I can't beat the 49ers. Will he throw a pick 6 in this game?
He could. He could. I mean, he could. Seriously.
I'm just afraid our running game isn't going to get going, bro. Like, okay, so that's the other thing about this shit, bro. Like, why did they not? We know why, right? But we were pounding it to go with the hot hand. They come out here stiff, sitting on the bench. Zeke, 1.2 yards of carry type crowd. Like, come on, bro. Like, is this on purpose? What are they doing, bro?
Zeke went to go to cry to Jerry Jones. And Jerry said, you need to give Zeke more touches. Zeke got 8 touches for 17 yards. Yeah. You go to the media, you go to Jerry, you cry, and you look like that, Zeke. That's why you didn't get any touches. That's why Rico Dowdle was averaging 4.2 yards a carry and not you. That's why he had 87 yards, the most yards by a running back since week 3 of 2023. That's why you're on the bench, Zeke, because you are low-key too slow, bro. That's what that is.
Yeah, bro. You remember that thing about Zeke, bro? About what was that shit, bro?
You got it.
I'm trying to remember, dude.
Low-key faded, bro.
Yeah, it's this right here.
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
I'll hit it one more time for anybody that missed it. This is Zeke back in the day. This was Mike McCarthy's first year with the team in 2020. Zeke, I'm low-key faded.
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Oh, man. The memories. Mike Bellarno with another super chat. This year at home, our stadium has had more opposing team fans than our fans. And when Stephen Jones was asked about this, he basically said he didn't care. Yeah, he didn't care, bro.
Because the money's already there.
It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins.
The light bill's been paid.
That's all they care about, bro. They just care about the bottom line. It's no longer about football. It's the bottom line, And selling merch, you know what I mean? Having a 2-story merch store there at the stadium, you know what I mean? So it's all that's a big money maker for these guys, man. High priced concessions. They're almost going to a game. It's almost become the have versus the have-nots, bro. Like, it's sad. Like, can you imagine, bro, if you were barely getting by and you wanted to take your family or your son or your daughter to a game? Like, dude, you're gonna drop some money, bro. And to get that shitty of a game, bro, like, they should be ashamed of themselves, man.
Bro, I got so lucky. So I bought my Cowboy tickets last year, $300 a pop. It was in the end zone. Okay. Then they made the announcement 2 months later that Jimmy was going to be inducted to the Ring of Honor that game. Those tickets quadrupled. I could have sold my tickets a couple of months before that game, quadrupled my profit on 4 tickets, and then basically went to a game for free. But I didn't because I wanted to see Jimmy get inducted, and I kept it. So that was $1,200, not including hotel, not including eating, and I got 3 girls. I'm outnumbered. It's 3-1, and that's not including all the damn shopping we did.
Oh man, yeah, it's but they don't even care about that, bro. They don't care about the average person out there, struggling and just trying to take the family out for a good time. So, yeah, bro, San Francisco game, man. I myself, I don't see us winning that game. I just until they get past the 49ers, I don't think they'll get past them. Until I see it, I won't believe it. All right, so you got man, you just got a lot of tough games coming up here right out the gate. You got the Falcons, you got Kirk Cousins. You know you're gonna get to that fifth game after the bye. I think you got the Commanders with Jaden Daniels and Quinn and these guys. They're gonna want to make a statement, obviously. So how will they look in this game, bro? Does Mike McCarthy survive this season, bro? Honestly, do you think they're just gonna hang on to him, or does he get the Wade Phillips treatment, as they say?
If they lose to the 49ers, Mike McCarthy's fired.
Dang, dude.
Mike McCarthy has to find his own way home. He won't make the plane back.
Man, that'll be interesting. I really don't know if he's gonna survive the season. And obviously Jerry said, that's not even in the back of my mind. Not right now, but this guy, we know that he changes his mind, real quick. So yeah, and he speaks out one side of his mouth, right? He'll say one thing and another thing's coming out the other side. So it's like he's like a salesman, bro. Really, it's what do they say? It's snake oil.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, bro.
Yeah. No, it's
49ers, bro.
It's the Cowboys kryptonite, man.
It's the Cowboys kryptonite. It's on the road. Will it be their first road loss, or do they go 4-0? So now if they win against the 49ers, does that give you any kind of confidence for the rest of the season, or are you just kind of like, this is a depleted team. They were supposed to win this game. That's kind of how I feel about it, man. Like, if they do win this game, I'll be like, well, they were supposed to beat that team. They're depleted,
Yeah, no, they're supposed to beat them, but I don't even have it down as a dominating win, Joe.
Oh,
I don't, because I don't trust this offense. I don't trust this defense. They're hurt, and they got a better defense. Like, the offense has to scratch and claw for every yard they earn.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, no, it really is. We talked about that last time. It's like every play looks painful. Like it's the biggest struggle to execute a single play.
And then guess what you do when you do execute a play? Holding.
Holding. Number 60. Again.
Terrence Steele getting beat.
Terrence Steele's done, bro. He man, that guy. Jeez,
that ain't steel, that's aluminum foil.
Terrence Foil, bro. Right?
Terrence Foil. That's sweet. Right here on the Frisco Report. You heard it first.
Terrence Foil, bro. That ain't no good, bro. That ain't it's not gonna get it done. Yeah, dude. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. The comments that Troy said about the receivers, it just makes you predictable. You know what I mean? Like, if 3 of the receivers are not going full speed, but one of them is, they know who to cover. It's like a tattletale. You know what I mean? So it's like that's terrible, bro.
No.
And that's coaching. That's Robert Prince and these guys. And man, they got
you know, we as fans, Joe, we knew the Cowboys being 3-3 are in a hole, right? And when you don't do anything and your GM is lashing out on the radio and you got your 3-time Super Bowl champion quarterback lashing out at your wide receivers and you have all this, you dig that hole deeper. Now you got former players talking about the circus at the Star and all this stuff. That hole's getting deeper. And the Cowboys did zero effort to kind of dig some dirt back in and start building this thing back up. Dude, they're digging their own grave.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely dug their own grave in the off season, but fans are coming around, right? They're finding out that everything is a show, training camp's a show. That's why training camp to me was so empty. They're like, this is not real. Like this is like they're just they're trying to create positive vibes with certain guys, but then when the season comes, nothing what you saw in training camp, carries into the regular season. It's all fake hype, dude. Training camp has become another one of these extended hype videos.
Unfortunately. And Cowboy fans bite into it. Oh, we're going to Oxnard. Oh, it's cooler weather. Oh, it's California.
Yeah, man. I for years I bought into that. I was like, oh, they can practice better, they execute the playbook better, their installations and this and that. Like, nah, man. Forget about it.
You get T.O. in slow motion right on the beach.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy what this year has came to. And we haven't even seen a year like this. When Wade Phillips got fired, they were 6-10. That year. They finished that year like this is worse than that. And Mike McCarthy's still here.
Yeah, they're hanging their hat on those 3 wins that were they weren't even quality wins, they were barely wins. This team should honestly could easily be 0-6 right now.
All day long, 365.
Yeah. So,
well, outside of the Giants, we beat them Giants. We can't give them no credit. We beat the Giants.
Yeah,
we would have been 1-5.
The Giants are terrible. Who goes first, bro? Brian Daboll or Mike McCarthy? What's the betting line on that? Danny? He's our betting guru out here as well. What's the line on that, Danny? Who's going first, Daboll or McCarthy?
Well, they just benched Danny Nichols, so Daboll might have bought himself a couple of weeks.
Who'd they put in? Who's starting for them now?
Oh, I don't know, but I heard he got benched in the fourth quarter. It'll be Mike McCarthy going first, bro. If they lose to the Niners with them being beat up, Mike McCarthy's fired, bro.
Giants never fire coaches mid-season. McCarthy, Daboll will get a new QB in the draft. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here with this game here, Mike, against the 49ers. But it's also going to be one of those games if they lose and they get, if it's a close loss or it's a blowout, it's not even something that I'm emotionally invested in anymore. It'd just be like, saw that coming. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know if this is the worst team in Cowboys history. That 2020 team was pretty damn bad. That 2015 team was pretty damn bad too.
Yeah. So some of those teams were previews of the past.
The 89 Cowboys, Joe. I bet you remember that.
Yeah, 89 Cowboys was bad. But the thing about that was they progressively got better and better. Kind of like the Detroit Lions. Like, you love to see a program go from complete crap to improving, and then you're in the championship. Like that's a
Back to
beautiful
back.
thing, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. And the Cowboys, they just haven't had that. We thought that would happen with the Garrett era because he boasted about, oh, we're gonna go back to the offensive line, Jimmy Johnson, and all this, and never turned into it. You know what I mean? Never turned into that. So
Because Jared keeps chasing what Jimmy did.
yeah, and it'll never be replicated. They gotta sell the team, bro. Let's see what happens, man. What I want to happen here is get through the season with your at least your core players that you still have youth to them and without injury. You know what I mean? And then just rebuild this thing in the offseason. And see what kind of gimmick they come up with. But if it's the same strategy, Mike, it's nothing is going to change.
Well, if you keep Will McClay in here, Joe, we're going to hear the same thing at the NFL Scouting Combine. Well, we got a new coach in. They get they're after certain type of players, and
yeah,
we got to do our due diligence and getting what they want in here.
Yep.
And we've heard that shit for years under Will McClay.
Yeah, and that's why it's become complacent. It's become cookie cutter. Oh, I already have this speech here. I'm gonna say it again. They've lost that edge there, man. With those old lineman picks, they used to be real badass. Now it's like, these guys aren't ready right off the gate.
Never good.
Never good, bro. But what is good is the Frisco Report and everybody that tuned in tonight, Mike. We had a great chat here tonight. Draft needs, we hit up on that. Cowboys definitely going to have a lot of that. So it's a lot of whack-a-mole around here. Where do they spend? Who gets the attention this draft? It seems like each draft is one side of the ball gets more attention to the other. Sometimes it's lopsided. And sometimes it's like, who are these guys that they're drafting, man? Schoonmaker, bro. That was the one that was just like, bro, man, like they lost they lost the touch, bro. Like that was the pick for me that did it with me and McClay. I'm just like, are you kidding me, dude?
That one and another second round pick, Bossman Fat.
Oh gosh, that one, dude.
Never worked out.
That one too, bro. Those early round misses, man, they hurt you, dude. They set you back, man.
Kelvin Joseph's still supposed to be on this team. I mean, not Kelvin Joseph. That pick should still be on this team.
Yeah.
That Kelvin Joseph pick should still be on this team.
Yeah, and that's another draft class that didn't do good. You got Osa. I think is the lone guy on there, isn't he?
That's been consistent and still on the roster, yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Who's winning the game, guys? Let us know in the chat box. Is it the Cowboys or is it the 49ers? And also, I want to know in the chat and the comments, does McCarthy survive the season?
Ooh.
Does he survive the season?
Yeah.
And if he were to go, Mike, let's just play a quick hypothetical. If Mike were to get, let's just say they just have a terrible freaking game here, either with the 49ers or the Falcons, right? Especially the next home game. If they get embarrassed and Jerry's just like, man, I have to do something here. I got to make something happen. Who would be your interim coach?
Al Harris. Al Harris all day long. Give me Al Harris for president. Not Kamala Harris, Al Harris.
That's honestly, man, like I would like to see that too. But knowing these dudes, it'll probably be Zimmer. Kind of my gut instinct. I think he'll give him a look. And if they have some kind of streak, he might even be in contention for the spot, So who knows, bro? For me, I want an offensive mind in here.
For the next coach?
Yes. Give me a McVay guy, a Shanahan guy. The Walrus, the Walrus, one of his guys. One of them dudes.
Let me ask you this. Let's I doubt it would happen. Let's say Kyle Shanahan got fired at the end of the season for whatever reason. Would you bring Kyle Shanahan for the 49ers head coach into wearing a star?
Absolutely. I would. I really would, bro. I really, really would, bro. Because at least you'd be in contention and it would be a refresh on the offense. Dynamic play caller.
His record being down like some stupid points, like 8 points or something. They're like 0-44 under. They losing. If they're losing in the fourth quarter, they don't win the game.
49ers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Under Kyle Shanahan.
It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. It was like some stupid point spread. It was like if they're down 8 points, they're like 0-44.
Yeah, man.
In the fourth quarter.
There's always a weird stat like that. I remember there was a stat like that for Zeke's carries. There was like
if he didn't get 21 touches, the Cowboys had a losing record.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, it was exactly that. 21 carries. Now you do 21 carries at 1.2 a carry. You're still gonna lose.
Now he's averaging 2.1 yards a carry.
Man, what a crazy thing, bro. But yeah, Mike, I think that's all we have for tonight, Mike. Thank you guys for joining the Frisco Report tonight. Pound that like button on your way out, guys. We really appreciate it, man. We keep it real here. Mike and everybody. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you at, bro.
Yeah, right here. YouTube, Cowboys Corner, _ Cowboys Corner on the Elon Musk page. And on Saturdays, Talking Crazy on the Cowboys Corner. Y'all check that out. On the corner of Crazy and Cowboys, we bring the heat.
That's my boy, man. Cowboys Corner, bringing it all over the place. So glad we had a great talk here tonight, man. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys. Let's stay healthy. That's all I want for the rest of the year, bro. Let's core players, please stay healthy. All right.
Yes, agreed.
We'll see you for the next one, guy. Peace.
Peace.